Hi guys, and welcome to another video. So with Justice League digital release just around the corner, I wanted to talk about the DCEU films so far and rank them. Now this is going to be a very controversial list because I think I personally disagree with some of the opinions of other people, but I'd love to have a chat with anyone in the comments and I'd love to see their opinions and maybe have a little bit of a debate with them. That would be great. So at number 5 I have Suicide Squad. Now the marketing promised this to be a really great film. The marketing was so good, but then the film just was pretty bad. The terrible action scenes really didn't help this movie. There were hardly any of them, and when they were there, they were poor. I mean, this is a superhero film, and the state of the action scenes was just awful. The villain was also really generic. I mean, Amanda Waller was more of a charismatic villain than the Enchantress. I mean, the Enchantress was just a pretty awful villain and not one that I really liked at all. So at number 4 is Man of Steel. Now I know this is a controversial pick, but I just find this movie really dull. Nothing much happens in it, and really it's just a very boring film to watch. It's not really the Superman we know. I mean, we're used to him being a symbol for hope and justice, and he's just boring and broody, and it really doesn't make much sense from a directorial standpoint, and it's just really boring for the audience to watch. However, this film is slightly saved by a nice supporting cast. Russell Crowe, Lawrence Fishburne and Amy Adams all do really good jobs and stop the film from becoming a really boring mess. So at number 3 I have Justice League. Now this film has very apparent reshoots. You can clearly see what was shot by Whedon and what was shot by Snyder. And overall the tones do really clash. They clash pretty badly. Also, the villain is really awful. It's much worse than Enchantress. I mean, he is the most cookie-cutter villain you could ever have. I mean, he looks like a terrible video game villain. And he just has no backstory. You do not care about him at all. So I really didn't like that part of the film. However, this is a Justice League film, and this is what I've been waiting for my entire life, and it was just such fun to see this on a big screen, and I just absolutely had a blast with it, because it was a Justice League film, so I was almost forced to have a good time with this film, and even though I have a lot of problems with it, I did end up having a good time overall. So at number 2 I have Batman v Superman. Now I know a lot of people will actually put this a lot lower on their lists, but I don't think this is as terrible as a lot of the critics make it out to be. I think Ben Affleck Batman is such an amazing Batman. He's an especially good Bruce Wayne, and I don't mind his Batman, but he's just got a lot of charisma, and I really like his Bruce Wayne and the way he acts that. However, some of the Superman motivations don't make sense in this film. I mean, he kind of hates Batman for no reason, and then you do have the Martha problems, and all that stuff is just super dumb. However, I think the reason why I put this at number 2 was because of the extended cut, and really what I am putting at number 2 is the Batman v Superman extended cut, because that gives us 30 minutes of extra footage. They're on par with the rest of the film, and they fix a lot of the plot holes and issues that I had with the film, which don't then turn it into a perfect film, but turn it into a much more enjoyable, well-rounded experience for me, which is why overall I think Batman v Superman does deserve a high spot. And at number 1, of course, it's Wonder Woman. So I think the only problem you can have with this film is its third act, which isn't very good in my opinion. I mean, the DCEU does have a problem with its villains. I mean, Lupin just turns into a villain shouting video game level dialogue again, and it's pretty bad. The third act fight in general is just pretty awful. But that's the only problem you end up have. It's really good to have a role model for girls in this, and I feel like there's been so many male superhero films, and to finally have a girl superhero film that doesn't suck, I think is really important for the industry itself. Also, Gal Gadot and Chris Pine, the two leads, they're just so likeable and so brilliant in their roles, and overall they just really bring this experience. It's not about the action for me, it's not about anything else rather than their two brilliant characters and chemistry, and that's something that I really love about this film. So, thanks for watching. As I said, I've said some quite controversial things in this video, so if anyone wants to have a chat with me in the comments, I would be absolutely fine with that. Please like, please subscribe, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.